Okay.
You ready?
Yes. Hello, I'm Robin.
I'm Ben.
And we are the Steegers.
We've a fluffy family. Just a quick introduction. This is Doris.
Doris.
Little black one.
Yeah.
Poppy. We've got Poppy as well.
Three pups. Ugh.
This is Poppy. She's the older one. And we have... Hang on. No, she's run away. We have got a cat, which you'll see now. I'll grab her after.
Sick of us.
Yeah.
So.
Jigs.
Okay, so we thought it was about time we started to vlog. Is that the word?
Yeah, document and blog and vlog.
Yeah.
All those cool trendy words.
Our journey,
Yeah.
which is infertility, if you hadn't guessed that from the title of the video, which we don't know what that'll be yet.
Not yet.
So yeah.
A couple of reasons really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the first one, if you found this video, it's more likely that you are going for a very similar thing. And it's actually helped us quite a lot, hasn't it, recently?
Watch loads.
Watching other people doing this sort of thing. And it's helped us see it from a different angle of not just doctors' sort of jargon and just real world people. So we want to, if we can just help one person or one couple out there, and it'll be job done really.
Yeah.
And the other reason is just to vent it out really. Get it out there, it's good to talk about this stuff, even though we're not talking directly to someone right now. We know that someone's watching it, so yeah. So,
hopefully.
Yeah, we might not get any views, but yeah, see how it goes. So we're gonna document it from this point forward.
So this first video will be sort of to catch you up on the journey so far, which has been quite a long one. So prepare to listen for a while.
Yeah.
But then going forward, we'll be able to do sort of shorter, more up to date things as and when we're doing them. But without the background, nothing else will really make sense.
So yeah, backstory.
Yeah.
So it's currently March 2022,
Mm-hmm.
and it all began
August 2013-ish, kind of.
which is mad to think about.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
August 2013 was after being on contraceptions and stuff like that, which never really agreed with me. I'd always sort of struggled on them. I decided to come off the pill. But you agreed.
Yeah, well, you put it past me.
Yeah.
You didn't just do it. You did say, I would like to come off the pill.
Yeah.
And your reasons for it, which made sense.
Yeah, and like, we sort of agreed if I got pregnant, then sod it. We would have been happy. We were happy together. Although it was,
It was very early on.
fairly
to be
fresh
fair.
into our relationship,
Yeah.
but
We're still here.
yeah.
9 years later or whatever, so.
So yeah, that was the sort of start.
What did we call it?
The not trying to not get pregnant.
Yeah, so that was sort of our little saying at the time,
Yeah.
but we just, we weren't focused on anything, it was just whatever would be would be.
Wow.
Well, I was.
I was off the pill and thinking, I'm going to get pregnant.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just a bit, but it was more chilled then, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was just
definitely.
very early.
I don't think we properly started trying and tracking and stuff probably till about 6 to 9 months later.
Yeah, I can't even remember.
But yeah, it was about 18 months, 2 years after that when we first sort of went to see a doctor about it. And then we were referred to a fertility specialist. And then when we went there, did an internal scan and we'd had loads of tests done and stuff. And other than polycystic ovaries, the doctor said, can't find a reason. There is no reason you're not getting pregnant. Which is a bit rubbish because... It's kind
of a good thing.
Yeah.
But
also when you've got a problem, you can fix it. And we didn't have a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
So to say. So it was just called Unexplained infertility.
Yeah.
Which is a frustrating term.
Well, her words were, I'll be surprised if I see you in a year's time.
Yeah.
Which, was reassuring. But
Yeah.
we then saw her over a year later.
Yeah.
So we tried then for the next year, sort of, trying a bit more and, tracking stuff a bit more, I guess. And it was, well, we wish we didn't leave it for just over a year because when we went back, because it had been over a year, we then had to do all the tests all over again.
Yeah.
Which was the first hurdle of many, which just go back in a bit positive, thinking, right, we're going to the next step, and we had to do a load of tests again.
Yeah.
All the same tests all
every
over
time
again.
it's been longer than a year, you have to start again. So redo all the tests and everything. So we went back in, redid all the tests, and we walked in and she was like, oh, I'm surprised to see you two. I thought you would have been pregnant by now.
Thanks.
So that was nice. There's
bone.
So yeah, so that appointment, she sort of said, look, the next step really is IVF. Because it's on the NHS, you might as well just go straight for that. And other options were sort of Clomid and stuff. But she basically said, because I was having like a regular-ish cycle, that I was probably ovulating anyway, and Clomid makes you ovulate effectively. So it probably wouldn't have done much for us anyway.
Yeah. But one good news, to be fair, is that IVF is in our region.
Yeah.
On the NHS.
At that time, in Gloucestershire, 3 rounds you would get on the NHS.
Yeah.
Which is...
Because there's certain counties that haven't got it at all.
Yeah.
So there was that.
That has gone down now though. It's 2 now.
2.
Since COVID. So yeah, so... But at that point we were smoking.
Yeah, I think we were, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously you're not allowed to be smoking if you want IVF on the NHS. So got sent away, told to give up smoking. She didn't say anything else, but when we went back a year after that, she said, have you given up smoking? And we said, yeah. She's like, okay, well I need you to go on this smoking course for 6 months.
Yeah.
So, well, why didn't you tell us this a year ago?
Because we were going in thinking, right, we'll go to the next stage.
Yeah, that's it. They believe us. But no, we had to for 6 months go and meet a lovely lady.
She was lovely.
In Starbucks and do breathalyzers effectively.
To show like a carbon dioxide or whatever it was.
So like a couple of little drug addicts.
Like little druggies or something.
Sat in a coffee shop.
Yeah.
To prove that we were no longer smoking. However, when we went back after those 6 months and we passed all the tests, I had put some weight on due to emotional eating and given up smoking as well, probably. Yeah. I am very much an emotional eater, and weight has been a lot of this battle for me.
Because if you didn't know, you have to be under 30 BMI as well. So you've got to be under 30 BMI for them to like accept you and not be smoking.
That's another box that needs ticking.
Yeah. Which is fair enough.
So yeah, when we went back after that, I was over 30 BMI. So then it was go away and lose weight. And every time we went in and there was another knockback and another knockback, I would knock back, get into a lower place and emotional eat some more and gained more weight. So yeah, it was just a little roller coaster like that. Yeah, so it was probably a year or so after that, I think, wasn't it, that we went to a clinic called CRGW, which I think the main clinic is in Wales, but we went to the one in Bristol because that was local to us.
Bit of a second opinion, wasn't it?
Like,
so it was like a private clinic.
Yeah, so it's never a bad thing, is it, to get a second opinion?
Yeah.
So yeah, we went there for a consultation because it wasn't even that expensive. They're kind of a patient before profit clinic. Somebody recommended us to them, didn't they? So yeah, we went there for a consultation, and it was so nice. Like, it was just
different world,
just a whole nother level.
Yeah.
From going into the NHS, and yeah, we went in and we were in the room together, and Ben got to watch Wanda have a little look inside of me.
I met Wanda. I'd heard all about her.
Yeah. And they put like the scan they put on a TV on the wall, so and like explained everything to both of us, like what they were looking at, what was what inside of me, and like, I'd never even had that when we'd been to the hospital before and they scanned me. Kind of just sit there in awkward silence with someone between your legs, and nobody says anything and you're on your own.
I'm waiting in the other room.
Yeah, and nobody says anything until you sort of get back into the room. And like, we don't know what we're looking at either, so who knows.
But they let us film it and everything.
Yeah, they were really good.
It was really interesting because they explained this is your left ovary.
Yeah. It
was really interesting, and you'll see some of the shots now when we were in there, sort of the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just let you sort of, it's a lot more involved.
Yeah, just a bit more personal, I think.
Yeah.
So they actually advised us to try Clomid. I mean, some people might think, of course they did, because you're going to pay for it. Yeah.
She just said if you're happy to go for it, then give it a go, sort of thing.
And it's actually it wasn't that bad cost-wise. No. I think it was, at that point, £200 around, which
something around that,
was, if we were going to get a baby, was 100% worth it.
And a lot cheaper than IVF.
Yeah. Yes. Massively.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did Clomid, we did 3 rounds in the end, and I was responsive in the sense that I grew follicles and big juicy ones sometimes, and that was what the drug is meant to do. but just didn't get pregnant. So then after the third round, they said, why don't we try Letrozole? A lot less side effects. So Clomid and Letrozole. Well, Letrozole actually is a drug for women with breast cancer, I believe, perhaps also after menopause, particularly.
But they both do the same job.
Yeah, they do the same sort of thing. Letrozole has a lot less side effects than Clomid.
Thank God.
Clomid was awful.
Yeah.
Clomid side effects. I used to take, this is a good tip actually, somebody told me this, take your Clomid before you go to bed and you sleep through half of the side effects, which was a good tip. But it wasn't very nice. I was an arsehole. Yeah. So then we did Letrozole for 1 round and was unresponsive. So then they was like, we sort of decided that the next round after that would be our last.
Yeah.
So she said, okay, well, I think you should double up on the next round. And I was like, well, it's going to be our last. Let's triple up.
Yeah, let's go for
Thinking they would be like, no, you're crazy. And they were like, okay.
Yeah.
And that was a really, really positive round. Like, grew lots of follicles and loads. There was loads, wasn't there?
This is the famous one as well.
Yeah. So we had one in particular that was dominant, and there was so many in there that it was like, so when you see it on the scan, well, we've probably got a photo actually that we can put up.
Oh, even video, yeah, or something. You'll see it now.
All squished.
Yeah,
so
right in the corner.
We called him Squishy.
Yeah, he was our little Squishy.
He's my
But
Squishy,
even like,
and I'm gonna call him Squishy.
but even like, because you said like when we were looking at the scan, we didn't really know what we're looking at. But even at that point, when she scanned you, we were both like, whoa. Like, we could see that there was loads there.
Yeah.
So it did work.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a little Squishy, which was the big. I think it was like 11 mil or something.
Yeah.
Compared to, but anyway, yeah, it was way bigger than the rest.
18.
So yeah, it was really hopeful. Just even she said that's going to be the one if any of them sort of thing. So yeah.
And then also that meant we did the trigger injection. So when the follicle, at least one follicle would have got to the right size, we could do a trigger injection. So she was like, you've got to do it this time, and then exactly this time you have to have sex. No pressure.
Yeah.
And then I also did progesterone suppositories because there was a slight concern that perhaps my luteal phase wasn't long enough, so maybe I was coming on my period before my body had a chance to hold on to anything, so that was worth a shot.
Have you got any footage of doing the jab?
Yeah.
Because that was quite funny.
Yeah.
Because you were like, all gearing up, and you were like, oh, I don't even feel it. It's just like a tiny needle. Yeah.
And we did actually have a positive pregnancy test after that.
We did.
It was a faint positive, and it kept getting fainter, and then I came on my period. So that was most likely a chemical pregnancy, early miscarriage type thing.
Like really early.
Yeah, so that was really gutting.
But also, in hindsight now, it's kind of nice because it's just like, we fertilised an egg.
Yeah.
And then that's all it got to.
On our own, without any scientists, just a few pills.
So close.
So close, but so far away. So yeah, that was it. That was all we've done fertility treatment wise.
Yeah, like actual treatment.
Yeah. And then March 2000, what year did COVID start?
2020.
Yeah, 2020, March, literally the week before the whole world went into lockdown and they stopped doing non-emergency surgeries, I went in for a laparoscopy, which I'd never been and had before.
And this was thanks to the private place as well.
In 5-6 years, I've never had a
offered
investigatory laparoscopy.
No. And
so the specialist at the private clinic, I asked her to write to my GP to recommend it, and she did, and that's how we got to having it done.
Because she was surprised as well.
Yeah.
So it was thanks to them.
Yeah. They did think that perhaps I had endometriosis, but the lab did show that I haven't, so that's good.
And they drilled your ovaries.
Yeah, and they drilled my ovaries.
Which I was in horror one day coming down and saying, what are you watching? It's literally on the big screen on YouTube, and she's watching it happen. I'm just like, what is there? And then...
I have to be informed.
Yeah, it's brutal. Well, it's like a little soldering iron. It kind of...
Yeah, it just pokes loads of singes loads of little holes into your ovaries. So it kind of gives this is what I understand anyway. I might not be right, so don't quote me on this.
We're not doctors.
It kind of gives your ovaries a reset.
Yeah.
And it is proven to be very successful is the right term, but it is proven to be successful, and people get pregnant usually within 6 months of having that done, because it kind of gets rid of all your cysts and everything if you've got PCOS, so it gives them a good clear out. And I had my tubes flushed through and everything. They're all clear, so that's good.
That was good.
Well, they were. Hopefully they still are.
And then, do you remember when you came out and I had a sandwich for you? So you were like starving. Yeah, but I dropped half of it, didn't I?
Oh my god!
It's like, I've got you dropped half of it.
Because you'd injured your eye. So in the morning we were at the eye clinic because he shot something off a gas canister into his eye and was bleeding in his eye.
Internally.
So in the morning we had to go for his eye thing. So we were there at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I had to be at the day surgery thing at like midday.
Yeah.
But there was no point after your appointment going home and coming back. So we just waited.
Yeah,
but I wasn't allowed to eat. So and then I ended up not going into surgery until like half 4.
Yeah.
It was so late and I was starving. I wasn't even allowed to like have a drink of water or anything.
Even when you come round, you were like, I'm starving.
I'm so hungry.
And then I dropped half a sandwich. Anyway, digressing from it.
So yeah, that was the last thing we've had done, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
That sort of brings us to date, sort of treatment and surgery.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went in to see the fertility specialist last July.
Yeah.
And my BMI was under, we'd given up smoking. So previously they told us that we were allowed to vape as long as we had no nicotine in it.
Yeah, nicotine was the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that changed. So when we was in this appointment and I was like buzzing my tits off because I got my BMI under.
All the boxes are ticked. Yeah.
And she was like, okay, so how long have you not been vaping for? And I was like, panic. Since March or whatever I said. And she was like, okay, well, you have to have actually given up vaping altogether for 6 months. And I was just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
So yeah, then she worked out the dates and I was trying to buy.
You were trying to buy it? I just put it back a month.
Yeah,
it'll be fine. No, it has to be, was it October or whatever?
Yeah. So then in like October, November, we had to go in and do a urine sample, which they check for nicotine and stuff. Which we passed. So it is now March 2022 and we have an appointment this week.
Yes.
Which is our IVF planning appointment. And this is the first time we've ever done this.
Yeah, so this is like the furthest we've ever got, NHS-wise anyway.
Yeah, and we've had all... so we had a choice. So our local fertility clinic is just a satellite unit. I'd say just, they do a lot there.
Yeah.
It's a satellite unit in Cheltenham. And so they don't do the egg collections or embryo transfers there. So we have to choose another clinic to do that. So from the list, we've chosen Oxford. Because I know 2 people personally that have used Oxford and rave about it, and after doing research it was sort of our favourite, so that's the one we've gone for.
Best success rates.
Yeah, really, it looks really good and everybody says how lovely everybody is there, so I'm looking forward to that experience. So yeah, we've got this appointment this week, had all our consent forms, which is, just to be warned, quite large.
It's hefty, yeah.
It's quite a lot to take in as well, so just be prepared for that. There's normal questions on there, like, do you give us permission to use your eggs outside of your body?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we want IVF.
That's exactly what's happening. But yeah, quite oddballs as well.
Yeah. Like, do you know it?
Yeah, are you okay for us to use your embryos if you're dead, basically?
Yeah.
Obviously a much better word
like
than
for
that.
training and stuff.
Yeah. Which I'm kind of. You're worried that they're gonna like give someone your baby, but
I'm gonna be dead and not potentially not have a baby and someone else.
I think they're just practice on it, but yeah, obviously this appointment we can ask these sort of questions, and this is where our own research started coming into it because you were quite sort of scared.
Yeah, that's when we started watching videos and stuff. So yeah, the next thing is this appointment, which I'm shitting myself about because we've never had a yes and we've never had a now, so I'm just worried that we're gonna go to this appointment, albeit an appointment we've never had before, and for them to still find a reason to say, actually, wait 6 months.
Yeah, there's this. And like already, they like before you even go, they say it's going to be up to 2 hours.
Yeah, it's a 2-hour appointment.
It's a big old appointment.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it really.
Yeah, it's kind of up to date. So this is the first, obviously we rambled on quite a lot, but yeah, we are going to document as much as we can.
Yeah.
So I'd say the next time you probably see us, probably be in the car.
Yeah.
Or getting ready in the morning.
On the way to the appointment, and then a little update afterwards to see what's going on.
Yeah,
see if we've got the green light.
Yeah. So we keep you guys informed and tell you what's involved and on the next part, which is the IVF journey.
Yeah.
So do it.
Thanks.